Let's jump into this new Future album, I Never Liked You. 16 songs, 48 minutes, 2 Drake features, Kodak Black, ESTG, Tems is on there, Gunna Young Thug, Kanye West. This was an exciting album for a lot of people because Future's coming off of High Off Life in 2020 that some people didn't like much, the Future and Uzi tape, Pluto Baby Pluto, that people were mixed on. And so this was kind of like a comeback album for Future in a lot of ways. A lot of people who were riding on this album, I will say I was riding on this album and whether it was good or not. And I'm overall pleased with it.
So he's not getting this. He's not getting the same treatment of. He's not getting the same treatment as 2 Chainz as you did to 2 Chainz.
Oh no. He's not because man. Future gave us good music. 2 Chainz gave us like 2 good songs in that album. Future gave us over half of these songs are good to me, good to great.
Great. So there's greatness on here.
There's some great songs on here. We'll Wait for You, Drake and Tems is great. Love You Better is great.
Is it great or is it just?
I'm on One is great. Back to Basics is great. For a Nut, Gunna and Young Thug is great. 7:12 p.m. is great.
Honestly,
I'm That Nigga is great. It's some
you lost
here.
me when you said that Wait for You, Drake and Tems was good because this is the worst I've heard Tems, and Tems is actually amazing.
I agree.
I
agree.
Tems, stop.
I agree.
Sis, you're great. Like sis, I mean, Tems is just better than that record.
I agree. I feel like they came to Future's world and it's like playing down to the competition.
Yo, yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's how I felt.
It's like a C on her report card and she got an A+. She got a 4.0 and because she did that, now she had a 3.9.
Yeah. I don't feel like that was Tems' DNA on that. Like, I don't know. It
Tems
feels like
it was her, but it's like you're on the court, but you're not playing like how I know you could play.
Yeah.
But that's sometimes you got to do that though.
No.
I think
come
they
to every
came to
record
her
to smoke
level.
every record. Yeah.
She
that WizKid record.
I thought it was good. She was good on
Essence
here.
is WizKid's record.
But
it's really Tems though.
You feel me?
So this is Future's record, and it's really Future's record.
Okay, that's fair. All right.
And besides that, I didn't listen to the project because I don't listen to misogyny. Armon.
See, if you had never heard of Tems, that record wouldn't have made you say, "Wait, who's that singing?"
Right.
Whereas Essence.
Fair.
Who is this singing?
Who is
this?
Absolutely.
You feel me?
But it's 2 different purposes. Like Essence is going for that type of impact. This record is like
is it though?
It's a more low like
they're pushing this record,
vibe.
bro.
Of course they are.
This
it's
is the
a
one
Drake
they
record.
want us to.
It's a Drake and Tems record.
I know. I'm there.
But this is the one they want us to love.
But there's still some Tems DNA on there. Like you hear it
she's
and you're
there.
like,
yeah, she did it.
I don't know. It's like I don't.
I think it's. I wanted more. It left a few things to be desired.
She did it. And let me not say I don't support misogynistic music because a lot of hip hop is misogynistic. But I think with Future, as I've said several times, I really started to not become a fan of him during the whole Sierra, Russell Wilson, Super Bowl, Purple Rain, flood in the comments. Like the way he was antagonizing her husband via social media, I think was just a little immature. And I don't really know the ins and outs of the relationship, nor do I care. But it's just the way that he plays into like being a dick. Like the fucking title of the album is I Never Liked You.
Yeah.
Like, but I will say this, I get that men I get why men gravitate to Future because he's so like transparent with his feelings. He's unapologetic.
He's vulnerable within his lack of accountability.
Yes.
Really understanding himself.
It's how someone like him would be vulnerable.
Like he's
very vulnerable.
He's leaning into the internet caricature that's been created for him.
Yeah.
But he's not really owning like, bro, like at the end of the day, yeah, you're toxic and it's funny and we fuck with it, but you probably got some real things that you need to
work
out within yourself.
You need to talk to someone.
Yeah.
But I think that Future is an amazing artist, but it's just the content that I'm not in love with. And for me, when I like what I like about music is the relatability.
Yeah.
And outside of relatability, I'm probably looking for an escape. So it's either going to be some shit I can feel or some shit I want to feel. Like, you know what I mean? And Future just doesn't do that for me personally. So that's why I just be like, tomato, tomato, tomato. Because I want something else. Because there was a point in time where I didn't feel like that about Future.
Yeah.
But regardless of that, though, I will say, oh, fuck. What was I about to say? Something, pass it.
Yeah.
Pass the topic.
I like the album though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't love it. I will say that I don't love it. I like it. I like it more than I liked High Off Life, and I think that for me is a plus because Future solidified. He's at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he's
you
Future.
might as well consider him a legacy act at this point. 'Cause
For sure.
He's
He
been
is.
around
He
for so
is,
long.
bro. Because
He
he
is.
also makes the same type of music.
Yeah, so
He's
it's
not-
like I was telling someone last night, like you kind of listen and you know what you're gonna get, so you just want to like more than you dislike. And in
Yes.
listening to this
Ooh, that's
album,
fair.
I liked more than I disliked, and for me, that's a win.
That's a good point, man.
I'm not looking for Future to be my album of the year at this point. I'm not looking for him to be my soundtrack of whatever. There's a couple songs in here that will be my soundtrack of the next few months. You know?
Gosh.
But like overall, it's kind of just like, are you still capable of making
mine.
good music that I'm gonna want to repeat? And there's some stuff on here that's good that I want to repeat.
The weather gets warm, and now guys want to use Future as this is the soundtrack of my life right now.
Not even.
But the point that I was going to bring up about Future, I guess what I want to ask you is, if you had to compare Certified Lover Boy and this project, like, how did you feel about Certified Lover Boy?
I didn't love it.
How about you?
I liked it. I didn't love it.
To me, it's his worst.
Okay, so this is my complaint about Drake, and I feel like it goes hand in hand with Future. As to be a part of that class of rap, you know, Big Sean, J. Cole, Meek Mill,
Big Sean in that.
Kendrick Lamar,
No,
Wale.
let
I mean, they
point.
are the same class.
They are
Wiz
the same
Khalifa,
class.
No, she's talking about
Nipsey.
class like came in together.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, I'm not
draft
saying
class.
ranking.
Okay, got
No,
it.
draft class. Like
Ranking
draft
is
class.
a whole different conversation.
Yeah.
All right.
But
Yeah.
just like that whole blog era, that's the era
Yeah.
that he's a part of. And for him to come out of that class, I feel like they did not evolve. Their music did not evolve as like subject matter and content. Like, you know, we see J. Cole go from I'm talking about cheating on my wife to now I just want to be great to my wife, and now I got kids and I want to keep kids off drugs, etc. You know, we see Kendrick showed us like how he grew up, and now we see him diving into the art more and you know, just blackness and like taking on that. We see even Wale, like you see the music grows with them.
See the trajectory.
And with Drake and Future, it's like these guys aren't growing up. They're still living their 18-year-old, 22-year-old lifestyle.
I'd say Drake's grown a little more than Future.
No, Drake.
Because
I
he
think
was
there's a-
hiding the world from it. What?
I mean, hey, at the end of the day, Drake
funny.
has a kid. He's embracing that.
Okay, Future
He's
has
speaking
had
about his
kids
kid.
since he's been.
But Future don't really talk about his kids
Drake
on records
messy.
like that.
Drake is outside like with his life. Like he's very much more vocal. He also has a way bigger platform. We're talking about two
Future
different
don't be
platforms.
outside with his life. We see all of
No,
Future's new
I think-
girlfriend every.
but that's been
People
recent.
talk about Future's life more than Future talks about his life.
Whereas Drake will
Drake is
speak
trying
on
to
his life.
own the narrative now. I feel like something mom and I didn't plan it, something like that.
He
I
puts
forget
his
the
life.
line,
He
like-
really
puts
puts his
him-
life in the
Yeah.
stories,
Yeah.
right? But I also think though Drake has involved. We always get on Drake somehow.
We do. We
Drake
always-
has. Drake has. I think he's evolved. I wouldn't say he hasn't. Like, there's been no growth. I think the biggest thing about him is that he is a very damaged individual when he speaks about the things that he's gone through. And I think the way he speaks about it is a little bit more of a palatable sense. And like, I'm literally like, I don't know how to do this life thing like in a normal capacity.
Yeah.
And he's expressed that I think in many ways over several projects. I think sonically have also evolved. So I think that's
I
his
didn't
thing.
mean as in like pen, and when I say pen, I didn't mean as in like I see for Drake did what Jay-Z used to do, which is he'll collab with everybody with different regional sounds. That's why he'll take a 5E and get on the drill beat as soon as it gets hot. You know, he'll go to New Orleans and take the bounce sound and work with the city girls. Like, if it's one thing Drake does, they'll stand next to what's hot, which is Jay-Z used to do too. He'd go to Atlanta and fuck with Jermaine Dupri and DeBrat and then do a song with Maya and
Right.
XYZ. And that is also smart because it just keeps you relevant in
just good
all
Yeah.
the
It's like, can we fault him?
subcultures.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not mad at that, but I guess my thing is just like,
I see what you're saying though, childish wise, like them
Yeah,
being
yeah, it's
childish. Like
just-
there's this clear separation between
Yeah.
Cole and Kendrick and how they've grown,
Yeah.
and then like
Yeah.
Drake and Future's like, okay, y'all.
yeah,
y'all
like
must
I'm
be
not saying
36.
he's not a great artist.
Nah,
Like
I
he's
totally-
definitely
no, of course,
the
of
best
course.
artist of this generation, but it's just at the same time, I want more, and that's why I like with Certified Lover Boy. It's like, okay, you're complaining about a woman, And now you got a baby.
And so
what I want to relate back to when I listen to music. I want to relate to some shit, and you still talking about shit that I was jamming to in high school.
Absolutely. Right. That was our point, though. Too. We said, okay, after this one, it's very clear he needs a break, because it's not new, because it's not fresh. We've heard this before. We can only take so much. We can only take so much sonic elevation to offset the balance. Now, take a break.
But then it's like, well, who is Drake? Because if we've been loving him for him hopping with these different subcultures and, hopping in different pockets, then what is the...
But there was story before that. I think the truth is...
Drake.
There was story before that, though.
Before that is what I'm saying. Who are you now?
But that's also a recent development. That's like a 5 year
like
development.
4 years of Adonis.
It's like
but
a
I
4
feel
year
like
development.
Even within that, Drake gives us...
She's like, no, don't do that.
Drake gives us he gives us the quintessential Drake stuff we look for. Like 7 a.m. on Bridal Path is a Drake record. Like
Backpack raps.
That's the type of Drake record you would expect back in the comeback season days, but it's just better now because he raps better. Something like that. Even like Erase My Mind is like, if you think about some older records he made, like Find Your Love or Let's Call It Off, stuff like that. Like he's always been willing to push the boundaries, push the envelope, and do different things like that. Like Drake is here. It's just as he progresses, as he recognizes different things that the fans love and the audience loves. He's a scientist. He's a businessman. He'll lean into those things. He'll lean into the light skin memes. He'll lean into the
way
sad
too
boy
sexy
stuff. Way too sexy.
Way leaning.
It was like that. Like that's the craziest. But it worked. It worked.
No, it did. I loved it.
Just like you can't necessarily fault him, but I do understand. It's like we want to see him come up with something that's like concise, that's meaningful, that's substantial, and we know he's capable of it. But I don't expect it just because I've looked at his whole career. Like he gives us little breadcrumbs of his life that you have to like decode and figure out more. But he's not as like direct with his messaging as a Kendrick or a Cole.
I think also, I guess to my point of evolution is like, if you're going to be the greatest of our generation, like just one of the greats from the generation before us in hip hop is somebody like Jay-Z. And when I look at Jay-Z, he got Beyonce, he got the family, and even though they go through their bullshit, they just put it into the music, what I'm saying? But it's cool because it's relatable. Yeah. And like, I see the growth. And even though you might fuck up, it's something about, because you're entertainers at the end of the day, people look up to you. So it's like, I would rather look up to somebody who I see evolving as a man. You know what I mean? Like, I would want my man... Like, when men tell me, man, my favorite rapper is Future, I'm like, oh. For real? I judge people off their top 5 all the time. It tells you everything you need to know about a person because that's what you relate to.
Yeah, that's fair.